Welcome to Hannity. Tonight, we are at the beginning of what is poised to be another awful week for your President Joe Biden. When you think it couldn't get any worse, think again. Economists are now warning that tomorrow's inflation report is likely to be very ugly. Prices continue to rise, no end in sight. We'll get the official numbers tomorrow, but experts now fear it could be as high as 8.4%. That would be a number we have not seen since 1981. So the question tonight is, how is Jen Psaki and the Biden administration going to explain this how to control inflation? Let's see. They're going to blame Putin, Trump, OPEC, the pandemic, or pretend that inflation is a good thing. All the above, probably. But, of course, we know the administration will take zero responsibility. This is their bad economic policies, bad energy policies causing all of this. But according to them, every bad thing that happens is totally, completely out of their control, even though they were the ones that suppressed America's oil and gas capabilities. They artificially reduced the world supply. And lo and behold, you're paying record prices and paying more for every item you buy in every store you go to. And by the way, they also printed an obscene amount of money during Joe Biden's first year in office. Now, with China's major trading hub, you're watching what's happening in Shanghai. Not a lot of people talking about it. They're facing a dystopian lockdown amid new Omicron surge, Omicron 2.0 as we're calling it, or BA2 as the medical community refers to it. Our own supply chain, it is now going to be pushed beyond anything we have ever witnessed before. And right now it's pretty bad, because this country imports massive amounts of phones and computers and chips and other electronics from China. So you can expect those costs to shoot through the roof if you can even get them. And as per usual, Biden is not prepared for any of this. There is no plan B for this administration to bring down prices, curb inflation, or ease the pain at the pump. They're just telling you to go out and buy an electric car, or until we get cleaner renewable energy, well, you're just going to have to pay the freight of high gas prices. They keep saying it and laughing about it and blaming everyone but themselves. As a result, Biden's approval numbers, they continue to plummet. A new CBS News poll has their lowest number for Joe Biden. In fact, Joe is underwater on almost every single major issue. Look at this. 61% of Americans disapprove of his handling on crime. 62% disapprove his policies on immigration. That would be the border disaster. 63% disapprove his handling of the economy. 69%, yep, they know Joe caused inflation. And meanwhile, 55% also disapprove of Joe's handling of Ukraine, and for good reason. Now, the images from Putin's invasion, they are horrific. It is evil in our time. Look at these pictures. Thousands of innocent civilians now have been slaughtered, others tortured, millions displaced. Entire towns and cities and villages have been leveled, cities reduced to rubble. We are witnessing a humanitarian crisis on a scale not seen since World War II. And yet, where is the urgency from Joe Biden? Over the weekend, during an interview on 60 Minutes, it was probably the best segment. I will say this. 60 Minutes is probably done in 15 years, and that is the interview with Scott Pelley with President Zelensky. And Zelensky held nothing back, calling out NATO, the UN Security Council. What good is the Security Council if you don't provide security? And Joe Biden. Also the UN for dragging their feet in the face of nothing but pure evil. Watch this.
In speaking to NATO, you called them weak. In speaking to the UN Security Council, you said, if you can't help, you shouldn't exist. Not very diplomatic of you. I wonder why you feel the need to speak so bluntly.
When you're working at diplomacy, there are no results. All of this is very bureaucratic. That's why the way I am talking to them is absolutely justifiable. I remember, all of us remember, books about the Second World War and about the devil in uniform, Adolf Hitler. Are those countries who did not participate in the war responsible? The countries who let German forces march throughout Europe. Does the world carry responsibility for the genocide? Yes. Yes, it does.
What are you asking of President Biden?
To tell you the truth, long ago I asked President Biden for very specific items. He has the list.
As I've said many times, Biden cannot put U.S. boots on the ground. And by the way, President Zelensky is not asking for that. The only disagreement I might have with him is on the no-fly zone issue. But we can get Ukraine. And by the way, NATO countries ought to be stepping up the urgency. So should Joe Biden. So should all of Western Europe. He's asking for the weapons so that the Ukrainians can defend freedom in their own land. They're not asking for our boots on the ground. They need the weapons. They need the ammo. They need it yesterday so they can drive Russia out of their country. And they're willing to do the fighting themselves. And we need to do it as soon as possible. When you look at Biden, NATO, Western Europe, they have not shown the necessary urgency for this moment in history. Over the weekend, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, he did make a surprise trip to Kyiv to support Zelensky. Got to give him a lot of credit. Don't expect a similar trip from your president, Joe Biden. According to Joe, they won't let him go. I'm not allowed to take questions or anything. They get mad at me when I go back in the other room. You're the president, Joe. You want to go to Kyiv? Go to Kyiv. Today, our own Jackie Heinrich asked just who they are. This is interesting. Take a look.
Has the president asked to go to Ukraine?
I'm not going to get into private conversations. What I will tell you is we're not currently planning a trip by the President of the United States to Ukraine. What is most important to the Ukrainian leadership is that we are expediting weapons and getting them the assistance and security systems they need, and that is what our focus is on.
And who decides if the president goes to Ukraine or not?
In what way?
He had said when he was in Poland that he expressed interest in going to Ukraine, but they wouldn't let me. So I'm wondering who
I'm not going to get into private considerations internally on that front.
They won't let me? Really, Joe? Maybe nobody told you, but you're supposed to be the president. In other words, Joe's too busy getting his rest in Delaware every weekend. He doesn't have time for international travel. By the way, good for Boris Johnson. Unfortunately, Joe doesn't have the urgency, any urgency whatsoever when it comes to any major issue. And today he shouted, he squinted, he lied a lot, did it through this speech about ghost guns and the evils of American gun ownership during yet another bizarre set of remarks. You know, the hits, they just keep on coming. Take a look.
When the cop knows by first name who owns the corner drugstore, who lives in the apartment above 6B, who the people who are the pastors of the churches. Right now, you get let out of prison after serving your time, you get a bus ticket and $25. You end up under the same bridge you left 2, 5, 10 years earlier. Think about the mass shootings. As many as 100 rounds. It's a weapon of war. I'm proud to nominate Steve Diddleback, excuse me, I mispronounced your name. As Director of Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
Not great. Anyway, make no mistake, Biden's war on guns begins and ends with law-abiding Americans. He is doing nothing to stop the smuggling of weapons and drugs across that wide-open southern border, Joe, and he is doing nothing to prevent crime. Guess what? You can't pursue happiness if you don't have law and order and safety and security in your town or your city or where you live. And if you don't lock up violent offenders and you have no bail laws and you defund the cops, guess what? That's why crime is surging all over the country. Instead, he wants to limit lawful Americans and their ability to make their own weapons, a move that is clearly, obviously, transparently unconstitutional for a variety of reasons. Now, of course, the rule of law means nothing to Joe also. We do have co-equal branches of government. And by the way, that would be up to the legislative branch to bring it into law and let the president sign it if he wants to do it. In a minute, we'll bring you the latest major development from Zero Experience Hunter and the Biden syndicate. And by the way, yeah, the walls are closing in very tight tonight. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.